Keystone or West Bank. We commissioned a $2 million public art commission from Stan Douglas, so it's the Gastown Riot. It's a smoke riot, call it what you like, but anyway, lots of Vancouver police on horseback wrestled with hippies smoking dope on Water Street in the 60s, and this mural will memorialize that moment. They reenacted the whole thing on a movie set in Burnaby, and 50-foot photograph, glass-mounted photograph will appear here. So here we go.
Yeah, let's go, guys.
London Drugs is right here. Esther's food floor is over there.
Nestor's Market there. Wow. Daycare center.
Basically looking at the W2 Cafe right here. It's not officially ours yet. We find out from City Hall on the 1st of September whether we either lucky.
Oh, that's
that physical. That was perfect. Yeah. And so the cafe is essentially we've designed the cafe so that you can. It's a portal to the Heritage Building. You go through the cafe. You're greeted by our staff. You go down to our performance studio in the basement, or you go upstairs. 34-foot ceiling here, 18-foot video wall here. You walk up through it into the second floor of the W2 space. So we're gonna go right downstairs.
Like the drawings. The problem with construction site is all of a sudden it'll just go bang and it'll be whoa, it's done.
They're still doing it.
Yeah.
Ew, gross.
Elevator access, and this access right here. Okay, so here we are. Yeah. Wow. So the staff report goes
Yeah. So what can we do to press ahead?
These are washrooms. These are washrooms right here. Men's and women's washroom. Here's the bar. This is the janitor's room / bar. So internally, we're designing this space so that it can. So we maximize capacity. So we're trying to make sure that we don't go lower than 150 people. Somewhere between 150 and 200 people. If we go too small, then our ability to host large cultural productions and events is restricted. The intent is that this room is a live studio. So if we're having a meeting right now, if we're having a small meeting, if we're having if Brian Eno is in New York, he's hooked into the video feed with telepresence, then we could be Vancouver musicians in a master class with Brian Eno, right? So this is a small room. And this room is connected to our partner sites across the world, these network of media art centers. So Friday night, some native youth come down here on a regularly scheduled do a hip-hop cabaret. We pipe that live to APTN via satellite. So we can produce a program for APTN in this live TV production studio, or a conference, or a telepresence, and hook up with different musicians here and musicians elsewhere. So soundproofing this room, having it as highly equipped with good gear, that's obviously crucial for us. Two FM radio signals, CFRO and CGSF, are both piped through here, so we can broadcast live from the room to those two radio signals, and through our relationships with all of the community TV producers in Vancouver, broadcast programs here onto shock cable, 600,000 cable boxes in the lower mainland. That's the plan. Fiber optic, obviously, also for web TV, stream, web radio, podcast, that kind of stuff. Clearly the way cross media is going. we're designing this as the first cross-media center in Canada, so we're looking at rigorous multi-platform, right? So not doing TV production or radio production or web TV production. We're actually doing all platforms that we can come up with, so the programmers or producers can use the appropriate dissemination systems. The fiber optic is important, obviously, because it ensures that we can actually stream HD quality video and hook up with other spaces. We've done, the only telepresence we've done personally already is with SAT in Montreal, where in March we had a show where we had our venue with DJs and VJs hooked up with SAT in Montreal and Saint with their VJs and DJs, and our DJs played to their crowd and vice versa, back and forth with HD fiber optic going both ways. So it's for entertainment, but it's also for education. It's for hearing different voices. So we didn't anticipate this, but some guy heard about this project and said, "Oh, I want to do a satellite TV show into Iran." Well, technically we'll be able to do that. It's not why we're creating this project, but if an immigrant community wants to come and say, we want to produce an immigrant TV program for our ethnic group, or if we want to do something for their particular community, we have that capacity. And that's where this is different than CTV and CBC and all the major corporate broadcasters, because they have certain objectives. Our objectives are social inclusion, new technology, breaking the digital divide. So our audiences and our producers and our audiences are then Aboriginal youth, people who don't have access, people who, immigrant communities who don't know that they can produce community TV and actually broadcast it on the Canadian airwaves, right? So it's about giving that physical and infrastructural support for groups that don't typically use media tools. Sid, do you want to say anything about the TV programming?
Well, with respect to community television, what's really good is that there are 6 what we call community-based television societies, not-for-profit societies, and every one of them is signed on to this project. I'm talking about Metro Vancouver. So it's seen as larger, but within locally, what we've been doing through the couple of not-for-profits I belong to, we've been doing a regular show on the Downtown Eastside in this area called Fearless TV for the last 2 years. And with very little budget and everything, we've actually done 32 shows on people, places, news, and views of people in this area. And other than that, all I can say is that the cluster is incredibly excited. Nothing like this has come by for these groups, many of them in existence for over 10 or 12 years. So the cluster is really excited. And just to let you know, the cluster is ICTV, Independent Community Television, Community Media Education Society, Slim Evans Society, Tri-Cities Community Television, Access Community Television, and that's 6 groups. And Access and Fearless is part of
I'm mostly looking forward to the hip-hop shows. We've always got our driving energy to and the issue for us also is like cohabitation. We've selected groups. So there's 20 organizations in our